Okay, groovy. Howdy, folks. My name's Dave, and I'm a wood turner. Um, I really enjoy turning on the lathe. I have a lot of fun with it. Today is going to just be more fun. So last year, see if I can get, there we go. I turned this last year, and it is a winged hollow form. And if I can get this in there just right, you see the lines that the line of the hollow form goes all the way through. This is just a single piece, and it is hollow. So I thought that it would be fun to take this last piece of cherry that I got from my friend TC Schmo here to turn that and see, make another hollow form or something. I don't know. It's going to be a winged something. It all depends. It could just be a tube, although that might be kind of boring. I don't know. And hey, this time I think, yes, I have audio to start with. I don't have it muted. Okay. It would be more, it'd probably be cooler with this piece. And I've got a piece of cherry on the lathe now. Let me get the camera just... that's not enough. Still want it in. It's been hot yesterday and today. Not as hot today, but still, it's been hot. So today, I got the shorts on. Okay, so I've already got this on its balance point and already secure between centers. I was turning something earlier, and I figured, what the heck, I'll just set this up. So I started it on the points, got it in its balance point, then screwed down the quill here to make sure I was good and secure. And I'm going to start working on the wing. And I don't believe that I want to have it directly in the center. I think I want to have it off to one side or the other, and I'm shooting for like middle mass, and actually I've got like all this area to play with because it's all pretty close to the same thickness this way, so that'll give me the same thickness to play with around. But I need to start, but in order, I don't want to start off on having the piece unbalanced and move it right to where I think it should be. I don't want to do that. And I'm pretty sure that even if I move it, wherever I move it, I'll still clear the ways here so that everything should be cool. But I want to start off on the balance point first and establish, first of all, this surface in a little bit with a bowl gouge. I'm going to be using a couple of tools: bowl gouge, spindle gouge, and a negative rake scraper, a la, David, Stuart Batty. Stuart Batty, TC Schmo and I got to sit on some of his class demos in Tennessee, and I learned a lot from that guy, being able to talk to him and watch him there at the symposium. Maybe someday I might be able to take classes from the guy. We'll see. Anyway, Stuart Batty uses negative rake scraper. He's got his line of tools and all that, and I highly recommend watching Stuart Batty turn. If you can get a chance to take classes with the guy, do that. I think he's a very good turner. There are a lot of great turners out there. Stuart Batty, I think, is one of them. Hopefully someday I will be in that cadre. We shall see. If I'm not, that's okay. I just want to be just want to be the best turner I can be. And I want to double check this guy here. Yeah, that's about, although it is dusty. That help any? Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to turn that back off. I just wanted to make sure the image here was fairly centered a little bit off to the left, because I got the end set up above when this is live, or when I have both cameras on. So, alright. With this guy, I'm going to come in this way and establish the wing. This is going to be interesting because this looks like another beetle hole out of the, or maybe it's just punky wood. It's, you know, it might just be punky wood. An old branchlet that never made it. Yep. An old branchlet never made it out of the trunk. Let's see, I could use a little more light here. Sorry about washing out this, but I will eventually have lighting that doesn't wash out the images on the camera, and hopefully cameras that also work in a variety of light situations, since now apparently you can't get incandescent bulbs anymore. Well, it's very difficult. Like the 200 watt shop lights, I can get those here, and that's just about it. Maybe the 300s are incandescent too. Although it does look like that's not a heat lamp, it's more of a 100 watt mirror bulb or whatever, but it looks similar to a heat lamp, and that's incandescent. But in general, pretty much all you can find is LED lights anymore, which I think is, well, I just think that's nuts. It's a whole lot more resources and pollution, at least in my opinion, than it is to put together an incandescent bulb. And if they made the incandescent bulbs correctly, instead of cheaping out on everything with it, it would last longer than 6 months to a year while in use, even though some of them say they have a longer life. But hey, let's rant about lights another time. Lights and yeah. All right, so I want to establish the top surface. This is going to be the top surface of my piece. So I want to establish that, and I want to go in a little bit because I want, as with the other piece, well, I'm kind of thinking I want the rim of the hollow form just above the surface of my top plane. I want to do it a little bit different than I did the last one, so I want to play around with that and see how that looks. So I'm going to take this down. So I'm going to have a, well, maybe not. Well, yeah, I'm going to have a break in the surface there here a bit. Let's see, is that deep enough? Alright, what do we got here? So there will definitely be a break in there. That's okay though. Make it look more interesting. And hopefully, you know, I don't know, we might find beetle holes that actually go through the wing that I'm making. And like I said, okay, yeah, I need to rewind a bit. As I was saying, I want the hollow form is going to be off center somewhere. I don't want to start turning off center. I want to start between centers and take as much mass away as I can as I go. So this piece is going to be flipped around a couple times so that I can get to it, especially closer to the hollow form here. Maybe we'll see how it works. So as I move towards my destination, I want to take away the mass of the piece that I'm not going to use while I'm between, or more in a more balanced situation. So just doing a little bit of scraping, I'm taking it a little bit further in. I've got to decide, let's see, I can probably take it a little bit more in. I'm eventually going to wind up somewhere in here on either side. I don't know which side yet, but somewhere in here. So I need to leave material there that I can move to with these centers. So I think I can get away with taking a little bit more off now, and then I'll start working from it on this side. So kind of setting myself up a little bit. I did a little bit of scraping here, but I'm going to actually really do most of the scraping with my negative rake scraper. Just want to make sure. Yeah, that'll be enough. Alright, so now I'm going to start working at it from the other side. And let's just keep moving down the log half here. As we get those diameters met on both sides. Well, I think I may have to change. Well, maybe not. Let's see. I was thinking I may have to change my tool rest. Like this. This is a Steve Sinner tool rest. It's meant for, or designed for, yeah, I guess meant for would be the same thing, hey? Or at least it was billed as a finial rest. It only has an arm going one direction. But I found that it has much more utility than just that. It's great for that. You can get like the whole length and not have a wing. You can get everything closer, right? So this knuckle here could go right to that level with the drive center. Maybe, you know, I could get a lot closer than I could with a tool rest that has wings on both sides because of the headstock. So it's got a lot more utility in that. I'm really glad I picked it up. Very, very nice tool rest. And the other tool rest that I've got another one too. It's a short 6-inch T-rest. I really like his rests. They're very, very solid up here. Yeah, anyway, let's get cracking. So I think I'm just going to use my bowl gouge to get rid of most of the mass before I apply the negative rake scraper. And I'm going to do it in stages. Because I need to be aware of flexion in the wood. It is still a little bit green and it's going to be thin. So I need to be aware that that is going to be a problem, or could potentially be a problem if I'm not careful. So I'm going to do this in stages. And actually I think I'm going to take that in a little bit more. You know, that would be one good stage. I'll just go to that diameter, I think. Maybe a little bit shy. Yeah, I think that's good to start with. I've got some timber hanging out on the very ends of the piece, which is what I really wanted to be able to get so I could start touching it with the negative rake scraper. So I have, and I might, let's see, I'll probably, who knows, I may whip out the skew too. But anyway, this is just a regular, I think, I'm not sure if this was originally a skew. No, it was just a regular scraper. Anyway, I turned it into a negative rake scraper. And I gave it just a slight angle, like my skews, although it's much less of an angle. And I'm just going to use that burr, which means I need to raise my tool rest. Clear, that's all right. I can move this, just make sure that's secure. That clears, that clears. So I'm gonna work at it from this side. Once I get to, and then I will flip it around and do the front side to that diameter, and then I'll just keep working the direction I need to go, I guess, is essentially what needs to be said. So I just want the burr to make contact with the wood. So I have to have my handle up. Tool pointed down at an angle a little bit, so it's just the burr making contact. There's not going to be any sanding on this piece if I can get away with it, so I need to make sure, and that's rounded a little bit, so I need to take this in a bit. But I'm getting a really good, let's see if that shows up on this carrier. Let's turn this guy off. Does that help any? Let's move this guy up. Maybe. So you can see, I mean, right in the corner there, I kind of rounded the edge over, so I got a little bit of tear out there. I'm going to put another burr on, but I just need to take this in. That's leaving a very nice surface. Does this make a difference? Does this make a difference? Well, we're not going to stay with that anyway. So the reason I have it at a slight angle is because as I get closer and closer to the tailstock, if I have it straight, I'm starting to bump in. This is a big clunky handle, Marple's handle, which I should actually just replace. And so if I had a straight 90 degrees, then I'd start bumping into that. I just gave it just a little bit of an angle, so I'm off enough to get in there a little bit closer. need to take it down a little bit more. I still got some burr there. Oh, much better. All right, so I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to put a new burr on my negative rake scraper real quick. Won't take long because my grinder's already set up. Alright, so this is going to be the tricky bit about it. You know, let's flatten this out some. I know some of this material is going to come away anyway because of the punkiness and the very outside skin of this dude. What am I doing? Now I feel more confident that it'll center up a little bit easier properly. See if I'm right. It's close. That'll do. Alright. Make sure that's secure. And I did already put a burr on it. So handle up. Just want the wood to contact the burr only. This way I'm getting a really clean cut. I'm still getting shavings. Let's take a look at this. But I'm adding minimal vibration by using just the burr and not like the cutting edge. Looks. I'm getting a little bit of flexion. Nothing terrible. I won't. Let's see what my burr's like. I'm going to go after another burr. I wonder if I shouldn't just leave the grinder running, but I hate leaving tools running when I'm out in front of them. There we go. That's a lot cleaner. So I'm going to go with that because I am getting a little bit of flexion. So I think, I don't know. I'd like to go a little bit thinner, but I think I'll stick with that. I am getting some flexion. I can even move it. The walnut piece I did was out of a seasoned piece of walnut, and this, as I said, is still in the drying process. Okay, so that is finished. So I need to go back around. Okay, I'm centered. Should say I'm running true. Looks like a good spot. So I take this in a little bit more, I hit it with the scraper, and then I will move the piece. Very clean, very cool. That is a nice thickness. All right. So now I'm going to figure out which direction I want to go. I think, well, heck, I don't know where I'm going to find beetle holes, so I think I'm going to go this way, hopefully capture some of that. So I really don't see much going on down on this side, so I want to go that way. How far do I want to go that way? Be a lot easier to draw this line now too. I can follow ish. The center line of the tree here. Wrong direction. So that looks like it right there. Not quite centered. We use that line. Let me see, it's always nice to know if this matches up to the other side. We're using this line right here. Turns out they do. That'll work. Okay, so now I got a line I can follow. And I think I'll take it, I suppose. Oh, that don't need a pencil. Use this guy. I think I'll just take it an inch. And slowly work my way to whatever area I'm going to wind up at. Alright, so now we're going to be out of balance for a little bit. But a lot of this mass here now is gone. Let's see if that... Oh dear, that means I need to clear the lathe. Sorry, I didn't think that far ahead. Thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be out of balance. It's going to rock the lathe a little bit. So let's shift some tools around. That will probably go. That's pretty heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy. This can move. All right, let's see. Yeah, that looks like it's running pretty true to me. Alright, let's make sure I clear everything. Oh, I suppose now is a good time to make sure that I don't cross into the path of that wing with the tool rest. That's going to clear. Alright, so we'll take out some of this mass. Far enough because I can still get right over to there and have enough for the Yeah, that'll work. That won't work. So as you can see, some of the rocking of the lathe, or maybe you can see, has gone away because that mass is gone. I'll have to do something about that mass too to lessen it even more, and then I'll move the piece yet again. I may capture some of that. Man, I hope so. That'd be cool. And maybe we'll see where that goes. That was another branch that looks like it never made it outside the tree. All right. So somewhere in there, will that clear? Not quite. Bring this up some. And now blend that in. I think got a little bit to pick up there. Yep, just a little bit. Still there. The beauty about using a negative rake scraper is if I need to, I can go back out to the edge because the wood's coming at a downward angle to it. And so I'm not really, it's just the burr itself that's making contact, and that's really minimal pressure. Need to put another burr on it. And I want to make sure my body parts aren't coming in contact with that wing. get it? That got it, most of it anyway. Yeah, somewhere I'm a little bit off center. Alright, so that'll have to my thickness is staying even. Having a little issue right here. Oh, that, yeah, now I know why. I can't get to that. Because this side won't let me get there. That's okay. I'll pick that up later. The rest of this looks really, really clean. So I'm going to leave it. That is liking to be a nice feature here. Let's do that. That's looking to be a neat little feature right there. So now, got to flip it around. The first thing I want to do, though, just in case that gets in the way, is get rid of it. Let's see, I'll grab a chisel. Since we don't need that center anymore. I'm curious, I haven't seen anybody drop into chat yet. Hey, if you're watching, I appreciate it. Even if you're kind of lurking in the shadows, do me a favor, reach out and tickle the keyboard there and say hi. I appreciate you joining me. Thank you. Get rid of that guy. And let's just leave these here for a little bit instead of putting them away. And now we're going to flip this guy around. Quite. Get closer there. Yep. That looks better. Make sure it's good and secure. And we'll get rid of this. That'll do. it is going to make a little bit of noise because the wing is thin. But again, as I'm pulling shavings, I'm really only making contact with that burr. Not trying to force it into the timber at all. Alright, so I'm going to refresh my burr now. Alright, so we'll blend all that in. Handle up, burr down, and only enough pressure to keep it against the timber. Make sure that blended in. Almost done. Be right in there. Alright, one more pass, I think. Really light contact. Let the burr do the work. There we go. Okay, so now that that's set, I can go to my final destination. So that's set. Oh, that's bringing out some curl too. That's cool. Oh yeah, that's really nice. So this I couldn't get. You can see that little lip there because the mass that was on the other side wouldn't let me get in there. We'll get that on this go round. Alright, so what does an inch give me here? Well, what's my center between these two? I can pretend it's 2 inches, right? Let's see, that would give me a very small, that's okay, a small hollow form works for me. So I don't really need the pencil. So I'll take it out another inch. And since that line seemed to work so well last time, we'll just go ahead and say it's going to work well this time too. Oops. Yeah, don't drop it on the floor. Alright, so we're going to be out of balance again. This will be the last big mass removal. I want to make sure it's gonna is that flexion, or is that it's not in the right spot? Whoops, that won't get by there. It is not flexion. So I'm setting this up to where, at least in theory, I need it running as true as I can get it. That'll clear. Okay. Has to clear all the way around. See what this is like. Come on. That's pretty good. So I just got a little bit to deal with here as far as getting it to run true, I think. Yep. So then that would need to go right about there maybe. That seems pretty good. Let's see if I boogered this up any. Let's grab that. That seems all right. Oops, I moved. Still a little high there, but that's all right. I am dealing with that. All right, so I'm really close. We'll go with it. All right, let's make sure she's secure on the lathe between centers. And hey, while I'm at it, since we're not doing anything, I'll throw another burr on here. I'm going to need it. and start taking this mass away. So again, it's going to be a little bit out of balance. This is going to be minimal mass. Once I get rid of this stuff, most of the vibration will disappear. Let's see, I think I want to go this way, because then I can really get in there. Assuming that's going to clear. Yep. Bring it back a little bit. Yeah, I don't like that. Might need to pull out the longer tool rest. We'll see. This might be alright though. I know that's going to clear that right there. Yeah, I should be able to get to that. I can get in there. That's going to clear, that's going to clear. Nope. That might be better. Yeah, that evened it up some. Just a little bit more. Got my new burr happening here. Need to raise the tool rest. Yeah, you know, before I do that, I'll go ahead and get rid of that. I was gonna wait, but I'll get rid of it now. just to make sure that I'm seeing the cut come across the center of this dude. Yeah, I'm still a little bit off here. So let's go that way just a touch if I can. See what that does for me. And I'll make sure that I set myself for a chuck here too before I leave this side, so that I'll have a more secure hold when I flip it around. This will be centered. Almost there. I'm gonna freshen up my burr. TC Schmo, nice tool rest. Thank you. Thank you, sir. It's a nice center rest, yes. I like these tool rests. Plus, I don't have the wing hanging way out over here. I can get right up on stuff for the most part. It's kind of groovy. Alright, almost done with that little bit. Okay, cool. Now I can get this. Time to redress the burr. Grinder hadn't even stopped spinning down yet. Oh yeah, let's check that out. What happened? There we are. Maybe on this side. I'm trying to see if I can show you a better. You can see what I have to pick up here, but that's a pretty clean surface. Any sanding I'll have to do, I can start at a really high grit. Oops. That's a problem. Let's bring the tool rest up some. That got it? Almost. Man, that is really, you know what? Actually, that's fine. It'll sand out, but I'm going to come back across anyway. touch. Yeah, that took care of that. Alright. So let's make this guy. Isn't this a great tool rest, man? Let's make sure it clears that. I wonder how far. Nope, I won't be able to make it there. Yeah, looks like I'm pulling out the shorter guy. Let's see, you were over here somewhere, unless you fell down. What's that? That's a different one. Oh, there it is, on the other side of the blade. Hold on 1 second. Vibration tossed some things over the side there. Including the old fish whacker. Alright, another center tool rest. Short and sweet. Make sure I got what I'm after. Not quite. You know, it doesn't have to be perfectly round because... Where'd I put it? There it is. We're setting this guy up for a chuck. That'll do. And then I will take this guy down. Right here. Make sure that will clear. Oops. Too far. That looks good. So now you can see the issue I was talking about. If I had a straight edge on this scraper, my handle is bumping into the wheel. Oh, you know, I don't know if you can see it here. Yeah, all right. So if my handle was straight, this would be straight. The handle was bumping into the wheel and I can't get in there. So I've got just a slight angle, just enough to get my handle past here, and I can get a straight cut. Almost blended in, not quite. Almost. That do it? A little bit more. But I can't get in there because of that slight angle. I guess this is what it looks like overhead. although you can't see this side of the handle. All right, so that side is done. I'll have just a little bit of sanding to do. Now let's put it in a, that's an interesting shape. Let's put it in a chuck and finish her off. Oh, no. Do I need that? Yeah, I'll hold on to that for now. Don't need the short tool rest, and I don't need the chisel anymore. So let's get these two things out of the way. Huh, not bad on time. Cool. I'm going to use this guy, I hope. Yep. So hopefully the mass of the chuck will help with whatever vibration I may be getting from this wing and this mass of material I got to get off here. Interesting, I'm getting enough flexion out here that it's a little bit thinner on this end than it is on this end, but yeah, it'll be alright. What I need to cut away from mass is not gonna affect that, I think. And for funsies, we're gonna bring the tool rest back. Just to have a little extra support. And now I got to match this line with this line right here. Let me shift the camera just a bit. I wonder, that do it? Yeah, that kind of does it better. So this line right here, where it meets the bottom, is what I need to match with this side. Maybe. Well, that's where I'm going to start, because then I got to figure out where the rim of my piece is going to be in here before I start hollowing. And I got to kind of do this a little bit backwards. So I'm going to hollow, and then I'm going to turn the back outside of the hollow form. And if I do this right, I'm hoping to, well, I think I'm going to make a round form if I can. Going to give it a shot. Let's get rid of this mass. Just so you're aware, I could do this whole thing with a negative rate scraper, but it's a lot of redressing the burr as far as I'm concerned. So I'll let the big tool do the heavy work. Take that down a little bit more. Oh yeah, I'm getting all kinds of flexion. Alright. I was expecting it. It is still a little green. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So I can take this stuff down some more. Evened that out pretty well, pretty close anyway. You know, that's kind of a cool design, really, but it's not gonna stay. Oh, you guys won't get to see that yet. Hold on, there it is. It's kind of a cool design, but it's not staying, is it? Is it? It might. That might stay. He says. All right, let's match that line first. Whoopsie daisy, that's a no-no. Can't have the tool rest moving about. Okay, I'm pretty close. And the rest I can get with the negative rake scraper if I'm going to use it. I don't know, I think I might. Because it's an interesting shape, it's almost a spiral. You know, I think I'm going to leave it. I think that looks kind of interesting. How's my burr doing? Tool rest needs to come up some. See if I need to retrace anything in that, because that looks kind of cool. Let's see, the mouth of this guy that's a little large. So if I imagine, okay, this has got to come in a little bit. Let's see, that's going to clear, right? All right. Oh, what am I thinking? I can get this guy all the way in there, right? Can I? Can I? That all clears? All right. Well, since that's too tall for that, we'll go with it. going to, I think I'm going to make some divots in there. Is that the shape? It's not quite the shape I want though. So let's drop this guy back down. Should be about right? Yep. Almost. Now, do I want a rim on it or do I leave it open? Do I want a rim on it or do I leave it open? Not quite the curve I need. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit more. That's closer. Actually, that might be right on. A little bit more right there. You can see even in this awkward position, if you can see my hand, I'm just allowing it to come up. Just lifting my hand. I'm actually pulling with my fingers, and that action of bringing it up brings me to my end point. It just looks awkward, but it's really not. Really nice, good, clean cut on that. I'm digging that, dude. Okay, now, dang, I don't even have to sand that. That was a really clean cut. Let's see if I can follow that curve in there. Alright, cool. So I can make a round form. The only thing that's bugging me is the surface of this. I don't know how much of that will go away. So I think I will trim it just a little bit more. Do I like the curve? It's really, really close. Yeah, I'll take that. That'll work. Let me clean this up a little. I need to put another burr on my scraper. So So someday I will have like a baddie scraper because he's come up with his own tool steel. Yeah, someday I'll own one. Just for these purposes here, maybe, I don't know. I'm not doing so bad with this, eh? So I can now put some grooves in there with my spindle gouge. I made it all the way out to the edge yet. Not quite. Getting there. Yeah, that'll do. That looks kind of cool, man. I like it. I like it. So I'm barely making contact with the timber right now, just enough to get that edge of the tool onto the surface of the timber. Really, really light touch. You can see the flute, the size of the shavings is very, very tiny. Hey, don't get your hand in the way. So those shavings are very, very tiny. That looks pretty clean. That one doesn't, so let's fix that. That's better. Should I put another one out there? No, I'm going to leave it the way it is. I think that looks really cool. Let's take a little bit of abrasive here. Actually, I can get this out of the way now. So I have just a little bit of tear out right at the peak of those, and now it's gone. I think I want it to look you see just that little bit of pressure, the flexion I'm getting. Because it's so thin. I'm hoping too that it's not completely dry. It'll kind of warp a little bit. I'm not trying to clean this up too much because I kind of want to look like ripples. I think it looks kind of cool. Just want a little bit cleaner surface than what I got. And I'm trying to highlight the ripples a little bit. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. All right, I'll have to sand this now, but that's all right, not a big deal. Okay, so now we're to the hollowing. Let's I'm going to show you the. Oh, that's part of the reason why. Jeez. Thought I grabbed 220 and I did not, but that's all right. The ripples are cleaning up really nicely. And they don't have to be perfect because they're ripples. All kinds of permutations in ripples. Peaks and valleys. Peaks inside of valleys. Yep. Okay. So I will just take this guy off. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I think this looks cool, so I want to show it off now. You can kind of see the ripples in it. So we'll make that a hollow form. And I'm going to hollow it out with my spindle gouge. Yes, you must clear. That's not going to be close enough. Alright, let's go ahead and try the long tool rest. This might get me where I need to be. Yeah. I know it needs to come up. That is close. We'll try that. Stay. Yep, you can't be moving on me. It's the only thing I really don't care for. This has got like a pinch. There's two. It pulls two custom washers together, I guess, that pull against the shaft of this, as opposed to having just one handle that drives a screw into the side. So a smooth shaft. These can scoot around a little bit, and I don't like that. Okay. Yep. Too high. Just still a touch too high. That should be good. So I could probably go about that deep. Take a look with the flashy light thingy. Did I turn the compressor off? I did. Good. Woo, that's warm. Alright, I'm going to wet down this paper towel. I keep forgetting about that. I need to cool this tool down so I can touch it. Ooh, man, it's hot. But it do get hot with the friction against the side here as an anchor. That looks better. Okay, still got a little ways to go. So what I'm doing is top cutting, so I'm working against the rotation of the timber as you would with a bowl gouge or any other gouge, instead of using the bottom wing, I'm using the top one. And I'm still fairly sharp. And I actually want to go dress this up because I do want a little bit more rounder nose. So I will be right back. Run this up on the grinder real quick. Excuse me. So I'm cleaning up the profile of this gouge. Put a little bit rounder nose on it. Might be nice to have a camera by the grinder at some point. All right, let's see how this goes. Ooh, man, it's still really warm today. It's a good thing I got this fan. Yeah, I think that'll work. Clean up that outer edge so the tool doesn't bounce around. Outer edge, I guess you should say the neck of it. Okay. That's going pretty well. All right. My depth, that's good. So my depth is there, my width is there. All right, so my depth and my width seem to be okay. It's just the rest I got to clean up here. And right in there, okay. So I've got, before I even start cutting, I've got my anchor on the tool rest and then my anchor against the side of the neck on the inside. Important to have that support when you're top cutting. Almost there, I think. At least on the top half. Get out of it. Oh, it's feeling very nice. Done there, all right. Where am I hitting? Right there. You moved because I didn't have you set. That's coming out very nicely. I think I'm just about done hollowing. Let's see, that is my width. Yeah, that's pretty nice. It's really close to what I'm looking for. Another pass or two on the bottom. So what I'm doing isn't actually top cutting right now. It's going in and coming out like you would normally hollowing. That was top cutting to clean up that inside surface. Okay, I got just a little bitty nub in the bottom I'm going to take care of, and then I'll turn this around and hollow it. Or finish the back, I mean. Hollow it. It's already hollowed. I really like using this technique because I don't have to change tools. See what that did for me. Looks pretty clean. It's a little thick on the side, but I think I'll deal with that. I think I'll just stick with it. It's not quite going to be round, but that's okay. It's very close. I mean round on the outside, but it's going to be very close. Just trying to decide if I like it. My thickness is still good. My depth is okay. Anything to clean up? Not really. Alright, I think I'm going to take one more pass across the bottom. Just one more cut. And don't do that. Left a nice dent in the board. That's okay. That'll come out. See right up. Well, maybe not. One more across the bottom. Okay, I also took it out of center, or rather out of true. There we go. Whoop, one more, just one little tool mark I want to get rid of. Hopefully that did it. Yep. Alright, cool. I'm done hollowing that dude. So what I need is my almost disappearing pencil. Wait, is that... I forgot to check if there's a nub there. Yeah, a little bit of a nub. Let's see if I can just kind of peel it off. Almost. Almost. Man, I can't quite get it. Hold on. I think that did it. Yep. And my wall thickness is not bad, but you can see I'm splitting right there, so I want to finish this quickly. Let's get this out of the way, put the pencil where it belongs. And I'm going to use my pin jaws for this guy. And a live rest for live center for a backup. There it is. Bring my tailstock up here. Okay. Not great, but not bad on the very bottom there. Usually I'm not making round hollow forms, and this one is no exception. But it seems like I did capture part of the beetle stuff, so there might be a, well, it doesn't quite go through on the inside. I don't see any tracks on the inside, so that's kind, oh yeah, right there. So right at the very bottom I'll have a beetle track. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, you gotta go. You're too big now. Live center. There it is. And I think this guy needs to make a comeback. So I just want to put enough pressure to seat it properly against the chuck, but not so much that I'm crushing it. And then I have to expand the jaws with just enough pressure so it doesn't split the whole piece open. So this should be interesting. Still needs to be, yeah, that's not even secure yet. Still needs to be secure. A little bit of fiddling here, a little bit of fiddling there. Almost. Fortunately, this is like a side grain hollow form, so all right, now I get to play some. That's too tall. That's too tall. That should be in the neighborhood. Okay, so now I got to sight that curve coming through here, which means I've got to tuck it in a little bit right here, and then bring that curve out. And that's my bottom, that's my outside. quite running true. I'm not liking that. Why not? Okay, so where it counts to be running true right there looks pretty good. So now this is all end grain. End grain, side grain, end grain, side grain. I don't want to go in that way if I can avoid it. There's my bottom. That's it right there. Well, since it's going to be a little tricky, can't use that guy. So I'm grabbing my other skew because, oh boy, come on. Still got a little bit of a burr on it, and that will let me get right in there. In theory. Still got a little bit of a flat spot there. That's a trip. Scraper should take care of that pretty quickly. Let's see, let's bring this guy back. No, that's not going to work. We'll have to use the small skew. And the rest of that I can get with this filler. Just raise this up a little bit. Nope, not that guy. This guy. So here you can see the beetle track going through. I'll clean that out in a second. Let's see, and I'll redress the burr on that in a second. Alright, got to redress this burr really quick. I'm going to blend that in better first. I get it. Alright, I think sandpaper will get the rest. Not quite. Let's see. I think I need to cut it in just a little bit more. Well, hold on. So follow the line through. Okay, just a little bit more, and I got it right on, I think. I think that did it. So I could follow the line of the curve through. Not quite, almost. Hello. There it is. All right. jump to your death. Okay, that got most of that. Sandpaper will take care of the rest, and we will clean this up. So negative rake scraper is really, really nice on end grain. Yes, very nice. All right. Will that hold? Looks like it may do. Give it just a little bit of a tweak in case it had vibrated out. Alright, I want to take a peek at this worm gallery here. Yep, goes right through. Very nice. Right into the bottom. On the inside. Yep, too tall. That's about right. I'm taking very light cuts because the only support I have is an expansion hold rather, in the neck of this hollow form. Come on. There we go. And now I can do a little bit of finish sanding on this. But I will slow it down. And since I'm now creating tons of dust, I'm going to wear a mask. Hello, Faja. Hey, dude, how's it going, man? Ugh. All right, masking up, so you probably, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me very well. You know, I hate it when it does that. Sometimes this chuck comes unscrewed. should have checked that. And when it slammed back down, took it out of true. Okay, hit that with some 220. And I still have some out. There it is. Come on now. Nope, that won't do. Still not quite right. Daggone it. I really should have checked that. Okay. There we have it. And you can see the line goes through. So that's continuous. The wall thickness is fairly even. There's my winged hollow form. A little bit of sanding and it'll be a done deal. It was fun. I got it centered right on like a bullseye. That's cool. Nice. Nice, nice. So there's that little split from it drying while I was turning. Fortunately, it didn't split this. And hopefully this is thin enough that it won't change shape a lot. It has changed shape a little, but it won't change a lot and split all that open. Because I kind of like that. Oh, the ripple effect in there. That's cool. Oh, I guess I don't need a mask anymore, since I'm not sanding right now. Okay, and that's how, that right there is how I do that. Sometimes, that's one way right there. Clean out the rest of that worm gallery or larva gallery. Oh wow, it goes through there. And goes, does it come out here? Yeah, it does. Comes out right there. Goes all the way through the bottom. That's cool. So got lucky, and I got some of the beetle tracks in the outside of the piece. That's cool. Well, sort of lucky, sort of planned. I'll take it half and half. That works. So we have what they call natural voids in it. Very cool. And you know, that actually is a pleasing hollow form shape. See if I can tilt it on edge at the right angle here. Oh yeah, you can really see the line go through. That's cool. That line carries through nicely. Gotta dig that. Practice, practice, folks. Practice, practice. All right, cool. Let's move on to something else. That's cool. I'm pleased with that one. I will eventually get a round hollow form. That one wasn't quite it. Okay, so we have now, hey, let's go with a twice turn piece. So this is one. It's a 6-inch bowl. With a rim, it's 1/8 inch thick all the way around. And this was a twice turned. It was not this thick. It was 3/8 of an inch thick that I had to take down once that maple had dried enough. I like the creamy color of this maple. It's very nice. So I turned that earlier. That's finished in. Baldy's Better Bees Buffing Balm. So beeswax, walnut oil, orange oil. Very cool. We'll move on to this guy. So I had noticed, let's see, I believe, yeah, this is poplar. Pretty sure. Could be maple. Oh, I didn't check if that's even going to fit. Yes, good. It's not going to be... Oh, we'll true it up and then we'll set it down. So I need to true up the face of this. Yeah, this is poplar. So the this is close to where the pith was, and that actually split down a little bit. So I got to true this up anyway to get rid of those cracks. But I do need to true it up so I can set it on the chuck and work on the outside, re-true the outside, and then re-true the inside to its finished thickness. And I think I will go with a slightly longer tool rest, so we'll go back to this guy. I was hoping that little center part of the poplar would actually survive, because that color interplay is really kind of neat. All that will clear, yes. Okay, so I can get rid of that guy, this guy, and those I can put in the drawer. Okay. This guy away. How am I doing on time? Well, we can get started. Half an hour, probably okay. Further. Yep. Crack's not gone yet. Hey, but it is nicely centered, though. Did a good job on that. Got to make sure that crack is gone. I can't tell. It looks like there's a little bit there. Yep. A little bit there. No cracks anywhere else. Okay. So I can flip this guy around now, re-true up the outside, and then true up the inside. It is maple. Well, shucks. It's a bummer. I would like to keep that color in there, but today is not the day. I'm just glad that this particular piece survived. They don't, oh, something snapped. What snapped? That snapped right there. Yep. Split right there. So there was already apparently a split. It didn't take much to open it up. That's a bummer. Well, thinkity think. Can't save it. I mean, I guess I could, but well, shoot. Well, I got enough material there that I can at least use this part as a lid for something. That's a bummer. Okay, moving on. Moving on. We'll go to this guy. I cannot remember what I was doing with this guy, although I do remember canting the rim a little bit so it's angled. So I cannot remember if I was going to make a small box of it, this or not. But that's probably what's going to happen. Just need to true this guy up. Which won't take much. Oops, wrong way. Every time I say wrong way, I think of Gilligan's Island and wrong way Feldman. I think that was what it was, that pilot. If anybody in the chat room remembers Gilligan's Island. So I'm bringing this up a little bit because I don't want to. I'm going to use my skew to true this up. And got a new edge on it. And I don't want to be like at center line. This is a little bit wider piece, and I have to true it up. So I brought the tool rest up a little bit so that I can lay my tool down a little bit more. Yep, you're not going to like that. Alright, we'll go this way then. Which means I'll use the bowl gouge as in a pull cut. So I've got curl in here. This was part of a crotch. So I've got curl in here and feathering. I don't want to, well, I was going against it. And it did not like that. Going against the grain. Likes that a lot better. Almost got her. Get all of it? Yep. Alright, so I like the shape, I think, though. I will grab the negative rake scraper. I want to see how that does with this curl, just for fun. Ooh, man, very smooth too. I'm not even going to sand that. Alright, cool. Very cool. Now I just got to true up the inside, get ready to make it a box. Let's bring this up a little bit, and for that kind of fun, I think I will try my round nose scraper just to see how that does. Sure, it will do fine. Suppose I could speed things up a little bit. I was turning at 400 there. Looks pretty good. Flashy light thingy, man, those are some wispy shavings. It almost looks like whatever, the shaved cheese. I guess it'd be mozzarella. I don't remember. Oh gosh, man, that is such a pretty color of wood. Heck yeah. So just dealing with the little nub in the bottom. Just missed it. There we go. All gone. Alright, so now I need to set my shelf for my lid. And that means my box scraper will come out, which is over here, and has also a fresh burr. That be deep enough? Not quite. That'll probably do. I think I'll take it down just a little bit more. adhesive on it. Just on the inside lip there. And that'll still work on the pin jaws to hold it the other direction. All right, so it turns out, where did I set you? This guy was a chunk that was kind of all split up, but it looks like it came from the same. It did come from the same. It actually came from this end. It would fit right there. So I'm going to flip it over and make it a lid and get rid of all that cracked stuff. That needs to drop. I'm really kind of hoping I can use the, oh yeah, nope, not going to be able to, well, maybe. Yeah, probably not. I was hoping to use at least some of this for the handle, so I'll have to turn a handle for it. Oh well. Let's see, let me do this. And that'll fit in the pin jaws okay. Let me clean this up. So it will sit properly in the chuck. It's all going to get cut away anyway. Doing on time. Yeah, I think I got this. The only thing I may not turn is the handle. Come on. Make sure that dude is secure. What the heck, we got the tool, let's use it. So this has to get a little smaller. Alright, put this guy away. Don't need you now. You need to move, and we got you. See what I mean? I don't know why it does that. But it wants to come unspun sometimes. Oh, hey, that would actually work really well, I think. Not a bad fit. Yeah, not a bad fit at all. Okay, very cool. That is that dude. Now it seems I need to be able to hold it in a chuck and expansion mode, so I prematurely put away the box scraper. I think there's a big stigma on using scrapers. I myself bought into that program, but I no longer believe what I used to believe about scrapers. I think scrapers are an excellent tool. They do very well for what they're designed to do. And it's not that I'm going out of my way to buy scrapers. I'm just repurposing some other tools. But like I said, man, one of Stuart Batty's scrapers would be nice. And I think, like I said, you know, I mean, there's nothing wrong. I've seen people turn entire pieces with a scraper. See, where do I want to cut this off? The line right there. Just usually means a lot more sanding. Goes in there. Oops. This guy away. Should I make that smaller, shorter? What should I do? What should I do? I think a little shorter. And I will start. I'll put a center spot in here for my drill bit. Now I can finish this guy. He fell down right there. Yeah, that's a very nice fit. Very nice fit. So I'm going to set this on the pin jaws, but I'm going to set it on this shelf here. On the inside shelf here, that's actually going to be true because this outer edge is tilted. Running true, that is good. Nope, I think I want it straight. what happens if I do this. Oops. That'll do. Still got that line. Let's put a new burr on this really quick. Just about got this wrapped up. And the line is gone. Boy, that's smooth. That's smooth. Here's my 220. Sanding is a breeze. Now let's throw some beeswax on there, and we'll call it a program, a broadcast. Oh wait, before I do that though, before I do that, TC Schmo, I was away. What wood is the box? This is maple. It's actually crotch wood, or it was next to the crotch wood, so I got this lovely feathering in there. And I was going to toss this piece out. I twice turned it instead to hopefully come up with something like this. And I've got way too much on there. Oh man, that's nice. Nice, nice, nice. This maple is just such a pretty color, and that I got to keep that bark inclusion, so that's minus the handle, which I need to turn yet. That'll be the box. I think that looks cool. Very nice. And the lid is perfect fit. Can't complain about that. Groovy. So I'm actually going to leave that in there just in case it decides it wants. I mean, it should be well dried, but just in case it decides it wants to try to go out around, this lid will keep it round-ish. So we'll let that go, and I will turn the handle tomorrow. I gotta say, man, I really like this color of maple, and catching that is just sweet. It looks really nice. Okay, that, my friends, will wrap up this broadcast. Don't think I need those now. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you had fun hanging out and watching, and maybe learning a thing or two. Hopefully I do my best to explain what I'm doing and how I'm handling the tools, because I want to be able to, well, I mean, it helps me when I'm explaining and stuff like that to become a better demonstrator, but also a better turner, because it's running around in my head while I'm talking. And then the things that I share hopefully will lead you to become a better turner as well. I thank you very much on this Twitch Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. I hope you stay friendly. I'm going to be back again tomorrow night, 8 o'clock to 11. And well, I might be a little bit late. I've got a Zoom call between 6 and 8, but I'll be on tomorrow night a little bit after 8, and we'll go to 11, and I will turn the handle for that guy, and we'll find maybe some more twice turn stuff. I don't know. We'll figure out something to turn. And I hope you enjoy your evening. Thanks again for joining me, folks. Why the smiley cod? This is very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just throw this out there. If there's any questions or comments, you want to throw it in chat, we'll take a minute or two to go over those. I'll wait for a couple minutes to see if anything shows up in chat. Other than that, that is pretty much the end of the broadcast. I will You know, I'll just tell you, I started turning as a alternative therapy for PTSD, and I almost gave it up because I started off watching YouTube videos thinking, hey, that's where the good information would be, and turns out it's you have to be really picky and choosy. YouTube has a lot of, in my opinion, people who do things for the views. Which, you know, when you're monetizing a channel, it's what you want to do, but they're not necessarily the safest or the smartest things to do with wood turning. Fortunately, I found the Woodturning Club here, got involved with that, and then my first mentor was Lyle Jamieson, who is a well-known turner, been turning for 30 plus years, I think. He has got his own channel, website, store, all that groovy stuff. If you want to visit that, it's lylejamieson.com. I'm not selling anything for Lyle or anybody else, Stuart Batty or anything, although I'm open to the idea. I'm just talking about the tools that I use and where I get my, how I adjust and where I get the ideas for the tools and the way that I use them. And of course the safest, most efficient way to use them so that I can help pass that on to everybody else. I hope, thanks for following. TC Paws Garage Sale set up Wednesday, Thursday, sale. Yes, yes, yes. Crazy Cat Ladies, I should show up. I should show up for Crazy Cat Ladies. Who knows what could happen? I guess I'm a crazy cat man. Anyway, can you be a crazy cat man with just one cat living with you? I don't know. I don't know if it's different for men and women. Crazy cat ladies, at least when I grew up, you know, had multitudes of cats and lived alone. I don't know. I live alone. There's just one with me, so whatever. Anyway, yes, I hope you have a great time with that. Sales Friday. I may come out and hang out with you guys. I think you're working that show, right? Not sure. Or the sale. I know you're setting up for it. Groovy. Hope you get to join me tomorrow night. Obviously, TC Schmo and Wiley Smiley Collie will not be, which I get it. But I hope I get to see the rest of you tomorrow night. Maybe even some new faces. And if not, then I'll be back again next Tuesday. So thanks again for joining me. I really appreciate it. Hope you stay friendly. And I'm signing off. Good night.